Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
Well, we start tonight with breaking news as Sumner County Sheriff's investigators search a Kentucky landfill and the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers.
The 15-year-old who has autism vanished 11 days ago. Tonight, his mother and stepfather are talking to Fox 17 News in their Shackle Island home after learning about the search.
We just want our boy home.
Well, the family lives near Beach High School, and that's the last place that anyone says they saw Sebastian.
Now tonight, his mother and stepfather tell us they will do anything to bring him back home. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller is live in the Shackle Island community with their reaction to the landfill search.
Well, Sebastian's mother and stepfather say that they're distraught. They say that they're waiting for him to walk in that front door, and they say they're still hopeful that he will. It's been 11 days since Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home. Sebastian's mother and stepfather did not want to show their faces for this interview because they say they were too emotional.
I can't put words to how hard this has been and how much it hurts not knowing where my son is.
Sebastian's mother, Katie Proudfoot, says the last time she saw Sebastian was when she put him to bed on Sunday night, February 25th.
And when I told him to go to bed, he's like, I love you, Mom. I love you, puppies. And he went to bed. And I went to bed around midnight. Everything seemed fine. And when I went to wake him up for school, that's when I couldn't find him. He wasn't in his room.
Katie says this was around 6 o'clock Monday morning.
My very first reaction was, oh, he got up and got breakfast. But when I realized he actually wasn't in the house, I've never experienced sheer panic.
Katie says she called her husband, Chris Proudfoot, who's Sebastian's stepfather. Chris says he was in Memphis for work. They immediately called police. Katie says none of his shoes are missing, and the front door was locked. There are no leads, nothing caught on video. Your son has been missing for 11 days now. How does that make you feel as parents?
I mean, I don't have words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I mean, every day is harder than the last.
Police are now investigating a landfill. People are speaking out about that. What are your thoughts about that?
Everybody has an opinion and their assumptions, and they are entitled to those. But as I've stated before, all we've asked people to do is to look at the facts, not what everybody's putting out there. If they have questions, call the law enforcement agencies.
Both parents say they want to focus their energy on finding Sebastian.
We love you and we miss you and we want you to come home. And just know that we all care about you so much.
Your puppies miss you, your family misses you, I miss you. Just come home.
Hoping to bring him home. The agencies investigating told us they would let us know when there are updates to this investigation, but as of right now, there are no leads or video as to where Sebastian Rogers may be. But of course, we're all praying for a safe return. Reporting live from Sumner County, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Caitlin, thank you. Continuing coverage now as we take a closer look at the search area up in Hopkins County, Kentucky, the landfill you see there from our drone. Now, White Plains, Kentucky is where that's located. That's about 2 hours north of Nashville. Here's Nashville on the map. Here is Madisonville, Kentucky, and this area, White Plains, is just south of Madisonville. And as we say, we're talking about 2 hours from here. This is just off of Interstate 69, which runs east and west across the state of Kentucky. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker shows us why investigators are searching up here.
Remember, this comes just after Sumner County officials announced that they'd be scaling back on their search efforts and transitioning into an investigative phase. Take a look right behind me. This is right off Orton Bridge Road, where you can see this massive landfill where trash from Sebastian's neighborhood was taken. Our Fox 17 Sky Eye shows you just how big of an area crews are having to search through. You see here there's a cluster of cars confined to one specific area earlier today. This is where crews were sifting through junk all day. Investigators telling Fox 17 News that they did obtain a search warrant on the property. Former FBI agent Scott Augenbaum says in cases like this, leads are coming in around the clock.
Any type of case, there is a ton of leads that are going on. And what does the evidence say over here? The trash was taken to this landfill. So this is really an important lead, because what they want to do as investigators, you want to eliminate all the potential possibilities of where this boy could be.
Earlier today, the Sumner County Sheriff's Department said there's no specific information that indicates evidence related to the search for Sebastian may be here. Rather, it is an investigative precautionary measure to eliminate possible options and questions. Keep in mind, this is an ongoing investigation. We'll have any updates here for you guys on Fox 17 News. In Kentucky, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Continuing coverage now in just a few hours, the search for Sebastian Rogers will enter day 12. Fox 17 News has been tracking this case since he vanished from his home last Monday morning. His mom got up, as you heard, and found that he was gone. Law enforcement and volunteers searched literally around the clock for a full week. Deputies have since shifted to a criminal investigation, which is what they were doing today. Now, despite the exhaustive search, so far there have been no sightings of this boy. To see all of our previous reporting on the Rogers case, go to fox17.com and search Sebastian.
I was so scared because I thought she was going to die right there.
Tonight in Operation Crime and Justice, a guilty verdict against the man who cost Smyrna volleyball standout Janae Edmondson her legs. A jury taking only a few hours to convict Daniel Riley on 4 of the 5 charges. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chin with the emotional testimony from Janae and her mother.
It's the first time we are hearing from Janae and her mother since that crash happened. Through tears, both recall the heartbreaking and graphic details of what happened and the long road that lies ahead.
I felt like my soul was ripped out of me when she was laying on that ground. I just prayed and I prayed, and I just felt like everything in me was gone. I was so praying that God would save her.
Keep your eyes open. Those are the words that kept Janae Edmondson alive.
I was talking to them saying, my mom said, don't close my eyes, I have to stay awake. And so I was just sitting there looking up, like repeating that to myself.
Daniel Riley is accused of driving the car that hit Janae. Francine Edmondson, Janae's mom, tearfully recalls the moment the car hit Janae.
I turned around and I looked and she was on the ground, face down. And her leg was amputated, all the way gone. And then the other one, I saw her and I saw that it was barely hanging on. It was like partially attached, but it was pretty much gone, I could tell. And then I just was like, dear God, please don't let her die. That's the first thing I thought.
Janae remembers chaos around her and recalls her dad tying a belt tightly to keep her from bleeding out.
I was screaming because I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. And so I tried to stand up, but my dad and my mom said no, to stay still.
At the same time, Francine knew she needed to comfort Janae.
I lay down on the ground on my stomach and I lifted her head up because her face was on the ground. And when I pulled her up, I turned her around. And her eyes were so weak, I didn't know if she was going to make it. And I was so scared because I thought she was going to die right there.
29 procedures later, with more to come, Janae says when she was at the hospital in St. Louis, it wasn't easy.
I started to get depressed a lot because I was questioning why this had happened to me.
Janae gets emotional thinking about the first time she got to see her brother and sister.
I'm not the type of person to show like my emotion because I want to protect my family. And so when they first walked in, they just stared, didn't know what to say. And so I made a joke to make it easier on them.
But Janae says nothing will stop her. Since the crash, she's graduated from high school, a part of MTSU's volleyball team, and learned how to drive a new car. Janae has since been able to get prosthetics, but the family says they still have a long road to recovery with many more physical therapy visits to come. Reporting in Nashville, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, after the judge read the verdict, the jury listened to impact statements before deciding on sentencing. And once again, Janae provided a very emotional testimony.
I will never have an easy, normal life like I did before. But now I will always make sure I make the most of it because your life can change in a second. I wake up in the morning every day and I'm immediately reminded of what happened. And I never want anyone to experience the pain, the sadness, and the helplessness I felt.
The jury found Riley guilty on 4 counts and recommended a sentence of a little under 19 years. A judge will officially sentence him in April. Fox 17 News has been following developments in this case since the start of this story. You can see all of our reporting on our website, fox17.com. Just search Janae Edmondson.
An update now as a Hendersonville man hospitalized following a scuffle last month with a bouncer at a Midtown bar has died. Metro Police say security guard Richard Cornelius, seen on the right, hit Austin Turner there on the left when he tried to get back inside the tin roof bar. Turner hit the ground and fractured his skull. After weeks in the hospital, Turner's family made the difficult decision to take him off of life support. Cornelius faces aggravated assault charges, but those charges could be increased.
An update now on a heartbreaking plane crash that killed a family of 5 on Monday. Tonight, we're hearing the 911 calls made just after the small plane crashed next to I-40.
Oh my God, I saw it coming down. It like went above our head, pretty close to us, and then it hit and exploded.
On the side of the freeway?
I was just driving on the telephone and I see this plane that's going straight across my car, and it's in a field and it's on fire. Right here, here it is. Here it is. The plane is here. We're right by the crash. No one here it is.
Okay, I understand. We're getting help. We're getting help for you immediately.
It's totally on fire. We can't get near it.
The pilot, Victor Dotsenko, was trying to land at John C. Toon Airport and flew past the runway before letting the tower know that he lost engine power. He tried to turn around. He didn't make it. His wife, Rima Dotsenko, and children David, Adam, and Emma all died in that crash.
Covering the Capitol now, a bill drafted to allow old fire trucks to be used as entertainment vehicles in Tennessee has now been rewritten to put the state in charge of regulating all party vehicles. Now, this bill specifically targets Nashville, which recently reduced the number of transportainment vehicles that are allowed to operate downtown. The city also regulates routes and hours of operation. Bill sponsor, State Representative William Lamberth, says Metro leaders have been inconsistent and says operators deserve better.
That's a property interest for those business owners. They've been told they can operate those businesses. Unless they do something wrong and violate the rules of that permit, that's like a contract between those businesses and the city. Those are Tennessee business owners that, again, as long as they're doing it the right way, nobody in the state of Tennessee should have to worry about their property rights being stomped all over.
This bill will be heard for the first time next Wednesday in the House Transportation Subcommittee. In Operation Crime and Justice, police in Coopertown and Robertson County make a second arrest in a deadly shooting there last month. Detectives say that Patrick Cathy shot 34-year-old Stephen Yates to death in the parking lot of a candle company where he worked. Last month, police arrested 37-year-old Nicole Tishma in this case. Investigators believe the shooting's part of a drug-related robbery. Police in Franklin need your help tonight to identify a man they say stole thousands of dollars worth of rent checks from an apartment complex. Here's surveillance video of the man they're looking for. They say he broke into the office at the Royal Oaks Apartments and stole nearly $20,000 worth of rent checks and money orders. Man has a distinct mark on the right side of his face. They say it's likely a tattoo, maybe a birthmark. Police believe he's driving a white Mercury Grand Marquis or Ford Crown Victoria. The car is almost identical. If you can help, call Franklin Police.
Turning now to the high cost of homelessness. Tonight, Metro's Office of Homeless Services bringing local and national experts together to find solutions to the crisis here in Music City. At the Housing First Community Conference today, the discussion centered around building a network of services to put people first. The program not only helps people get off the streets, but into affordable apartments with services that they need on site. It's an approach successfully made in many other places across the country.
With great success, I would say Houston, Dallas, Milwaukee. So city by city, there's an approach to not just start a program, but take a whole city-wide approach to get people who are chronically homeless off the street.
Metro's Office of Homeless Services says its Housing First initiative has $50 million in support from the city to get this program off the ground here in Nashville. They hope to secure future funding by showing its success down the road. A Fort Campbell soldier accused of selling military secrets to China. How agents track
management and subsequently suffered injuries. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Bart Durham Injury Law at 615-242-9000 for a free case evaluation.
In Operation Crime and Justice, federal prosecutors have charged a Fort Campbell soldier with selling military secrets to China.
An FBI investigation uncovered disturbing evidence that agents say they trace back to the Post.
In a news conference Thursday, U.S. Attorney General Henry Leventis of the Middle District of Tennessee announced a security breach at Fort Campbell.
We're here today as the result of our ongoing efforts to protect against threats to our national security. And we are reminded once again that those threats sometimes come from our most esteemed institutions.
Army intelligence analyst Sergeant Corbin Schultz with the 1st Battalion 506th Infantry was arrested Thursday and now faces a 6-count federal indictment, including conspiracy to unlawfully communicate defense information and bribery of a public official.
The defendant is charged with entering into a multi-year conspiracy to illegally exploit his access to national defense information for his own financial benefit. He traded our national defense information for cash.
According to an FBI investigation, over the course of almost 2 years, Sergeant Schultz sold military trade secrets to a co-conspirator in China. In exchange, Schultz received 14 different payments since June of 2022, totaling $42,000.
This included documents and information related to advanced fighter aircraft, advanced military helicopters, intercontinental ballistic missiles, high mobility artillery rocket systems, defensive missile systems, and Chinese military tactics.
Not only is Sergeant Schultz accused of selling sensitive information to China, he's also accused of actively trying to recruit another U.S. military member to be an inside spy for China.
Illegal dissemination of national defense information puts our country, our fellow citizens, members of our military, and our allies at risk.
Sergeant Schultz is set to make his first initial court appearance tomorrow.
All right, weather-wise, no rain today, but it was kind of yucky anyway.
It was, yeah, a little bit, you know.
It wanted to turn, just couldn't get there.
I know, we didn't get quite as much sunshine as I was hoping for, a little bit cloudy, but, you know, rain is on the way. That's going to be the topic for us as we head on into tomorrow. So showers are going to start to move in as we head through especially the afternoon tomorrow. More on that here in just a second, but that rain chance is going to stick around with us on into Saturday morning, too. A pretty good crowd out there on Broadway for this Thursday night. Temperatures very mild for this time of year too. 60 degrees, that's our current temperature, and that is our normal high temperature for this time of year. We are mostly cloudy. Those clouds will stick around with us through the rest of the night. Temperatures right now, we're in the 50s and 60s most locations. Some lower 50s out east. 52 right now in Clarksville, 59 in Dickson. We're at 58 down in Murfreesboro, 61. That's the current temperature down in Columbia, still in the lower 60s along with Nashville. As far as radar goes, still not showing much activity for our area, but rain is on the way. You can see that moving through parts of Oklahoma and Texas into Arkansas right now. We had a few showers moving through our northwestern areas earlier today, but that was just some very light rainfall, really not causing any issues whatsoever up there. But more rain is on the way as we head on into tomorrow. So through the overnight hours, not expecting a whole lot. Still a couple of showers up there in our far northwestern areas. By 7 o'clock, we're going to start to see more of that rain start to move in, and more of that builds in as we head on into the afternoon hours. So I think the bulk of this widespread rainfall should be coming at the start of the afternoon. That's going to stick around with us off and on as we head through the rest of the day on a Friday. That's the 5 o'clock picture right there. Still some widespread showers. Most of this is going to stay fairly light. Not expecting a lot of heavy rainfall. We could get a couple of pockets of heavy rainfall in our southern and eastern counties, but overall, I don't think tomorrow's shaping up to be any bad weather. Just some rain that's going to be moving through. Maybe a few thunderstorms, but no severe weather for us tomorrow. This is 10 o'clock right here, and then Saturday morning, this is the 7 o'clock picture. A lot of us are going to start out dry, and then we're going to have kind of that second round and move through Saturday afternoon on into Saturday morning on into Saturday early in the afternoon. That clears on out of here for the rest of the day on Saturday, and then by Sunday we get more sunshine, and we are going to be drying out too. Here's a severe weather outlook for tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center still keeping that to the south and west of here. None of southern Kentucky or middle Tennessee highlighted in that level 1 risk. That's that shade of green on the far edges of your screen. That is still to the south and west of us. And then as we head on into Saturday, that severe weather threat is going to shift to the south and to the east of us. Level 2 risk for a lot of Georgia, also most of South Carolina, down into the parts of Florida and Alabama as well. As far as rainfall totals go for us right here in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, generally about an inch or less for most of us. Some of the higher rainfall totals are going to line up along the Tennessee and Alabama state line, also up here around the plateau. Those spots could get just a little bit over an inch, so not a big super soaker event for us at all for tomorrow. And again, no severe storms expected either. For tonight, 57 degrees. Some showers are going to be moving in. Could see a few of those lighter showers up there in our northwestern areas. And for tomorrow, 7 o'clock tomorrow, I think we're going to be talking about temperatures in the upper 50s. It's still starting to get out cloudy, but that rain chance is going to be there. This rain is going to start to move in from the west, also up from the south as we head through tomorrow morning. By noon, I think that's when we get that better chance for rain. It's going to start to get a little bit more widespread tomorrow, so mostly cloudy with a pretty good chance for some rain showers for a lot of us. 68 degrees your temperature at noon, so tomorrow is going to be another fairly warm day for us, even though we are getting the clouds and also the rain. By 5 o'clock tomorrow, still in the mid-60s. That rain chance is going to stick around with us, and we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast. We are going to get a little bit cooler behind the system, but then a nice warm-up for next week. Next week shaping up to be a beautiful one. More on that here in just a bit.
Thank you, Brett. A defining moment for President Biden, his message of unity tonight and how it was received.
On Fox 17 News, morning anchor Justin McFarland, many kids are still facing setbacks as they're trying to get to reading proficiency. Coming up, we'll...
Lottery retailer. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun.
Fox 17 News, Code Red Weather.
Your first line of defense when severe weather threatens.
President Biden making his case for 4 more years tonight in a prime-time address to the nation.
Well, he took credit for an improving economy and the creation of hundreds of thousands of new jobs on his watch. Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzau in Washington tonight with more. And by the way, we want to hear from you. You can weigh in on the story by scanning that QR code that will appear here shortly on your screen.
President Biden touching on multiple issues polls have shown he has some work to do with voters. Until the Democratic National Convention this summer, it could be the largest audience he'll get to lay out his re-election message. President Joe Biden making his pitch at a time improvements in the economy have not translated to a major rise in confidence from voters.
My inherited economy is on the brink. Now our economy is literally the envy of the world.
Donald Trump reacting in real time on Truth Social, including the rise in prices that have occurred since Biden took office. It was not a campaign speech, but this year's address started off with a focus on his opponent. President Joe Biden contrasting his views on Russia and Ukraine, abortion rights, and democracy, and former President Trump's role on January 6, 2021.
This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies.
President Biden also addressing the record numbers of migrants who have come into the country on his watch, insisting his plan to help has been blocked by Republicans, who blame Biden for upending policies they say worked. Many continue to talk about a 22-year-old woman recently murdered, the prime suspect, Jose Ibarra. He was in the country illegally.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand.
She was brutally murdered by one of the millions of illegal border crossers President Biden chose to release into our homeland.
The border, also a focus of the official Republican response, which was given by one of the youngest members of the Senate, Alabama's Katie Britt, who also took a dig at Biden's age.
Right now, our commander-in-chief is not in command. The free world deserves better than a dithering and diminished leader.
Looking ahead, President Biden is set to take his message on the road. He'll spend Friday in Philadelphia and then head to Atlanta on Saturday. Pennsylvania and Georgia, of course, battleground states he'll need to swing his way in November. On Capitol Hill, I'm Christine Frizzau.
During that story, we had a QR code linked up to this poll asking, what's your view of the State of the Union? Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And here are the results. 901 votes have come in. 74% say no, not better off than I was 4 years ago, compared to 26% that say yes.
Just ahead on Fox 17 News, getting heated, the war of words leading to a tiff today on the State House.
Nashville's most trusted pest control company.
U.S. Pest. This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Bart Durham Injury Law.
Tonight in Crisis in the Classroom, a heated exchange on the Senate House floor, or the State House floor, I should say, over tensions when it comes to the education bill.
Now, the players, State Representatives John Ray Clemens of Nashville and Scott Sapicki of Culleoka, who of course is carrying the education bill for the Republican leadership.
Universal school choice is easily the most contentious issue of this legislative session. It was passed by the House Education Committee this week after a 4+ hour session in which Democrats say the House leaders violated their own rules by failing to get 2/3 support.
You're not seeing a groundswell of support in any community in the state for vouchers. It's quite the opposite. People see that it's a scam. People see that it's going to undermine schools, and yet we're just sleepwalking right through it.
Tension over that and a refusal to support a resolution honoring recent progress by metro schools led to a nasty House exchange between Nashville Representative John Ray Clemens and Scott Sapicki of Culleoka.
I didn't appreciate the offensive language that he used to describe our public schools, which are doing great things with too little resources, that deserve a lot of respect and the recognition of this body and to be honored by this body. And it pissed me off.
We should all be strong enough to be able to have heated words with someone over a difficult issue or anything else, stop short of any kind of physical confrontation, and then shake hands afterwards and go forth as colleagues.
Which is what happened today, but House Democrats remain hot over what they see as an education bill filled with incentives being pushed forward in spite of growing opposition.
As long as vouchers are part of this legislation, it's a problem, and it's a direct threat to our public school system across the state of Tennessee in all 95 counties.
House education bill, which includes school vouchers, will not be voted on next week because of the timing, which will give members of the House and Senate more time to talk about it. Toward that end, House Speaker Cam Sexton tells Fox 17 News the House and Senate versions of this bill are closer to agreement than most people think. Crisis in the Classroom is our ongoing commitment to you to expose problems in our schools and to look for solutions. If you have a story you'd like to see us cover, send us an email to news@fox17.com, or you can also phone our tip line. You see the number at the bottom of the screen, 615-266-4149.
Well, the restaurant business, not easy. Even popular places come and go, which makes it even more remarkable that Sperry's in Belmead is doing business 50 years after opening. Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier has the recipe for success in tonight's Ferrier Files.
In a city that's all about what's new and different, Sperry's celebrates tradition and consistency. Nothing changes. Not the menu, not the decor, not even the people.
Hello, gentlemen. Good to see you.
When you walk into Sperry's, you are walking into 1974.
Are you all celebrating anything tonight? Just friendship.
Sperry's has never gone through a rebranding, never been remodeled, never reinvented itself. Owner Al Thomas.
It's an old English steakhouse. It's just got a very warm, comfortable feeling. And we always kind of agree that it's like an old shoe that fits.
Doing the salad bar.
A salad bar where everything is homemade and top quality. A twice-baked potato that has been on the menu for 50 years. All the different cuts of wonderful beef. And the crab cakes, if you've ever had them, you have tasted perfection.
We strive to just make sure that every time you come through the door, you get a great steak, get a great twice-baked potato, that the salad bar is as best as it can possibly be, as fresh as it can be, and you know, people love that.
And who does Bananas Foster tableside anymore? That's right out of the past, right out of Al Thomas's past.
My father flamed Bananas Foster's tableside for me when I was 5, 6 years old. He would do it in the kitchen with my brother and my sister, and it's been a part of my life. And there's no reason to make it go away, because I would say that just about everybody that comes in here to celebrate a special occasion, which is a lot of people do that, they're going to get the Bananas Foster. And great way to top off the evening.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Sperry's actually has customers who have standing weekly reservations for decades.
You have standing reservations for what, 30 years? Some people on a Tuesday night at 5:30 or something like that?
Without a doubt. People, it's kind of the other way around on those reservations. They will call to say that they're not coming in.
Wow. Chances are they will get a server like Connie Hawk,
I will get more bread for you.
who has been here for 38 years.
Well, I mean, it's a special place. We have such devoted customers, so that's what really makes it. And you know, we have a built-in clientele. We have generations after generations that come in. And so that's what makes it such a magical place. It really does. So, and it's still fun.
And still a huge success. Get your reservations early.
I love this soup.
If you have a favorite table, you can rest assured that table isn't going anywhere.
There's no way you would remodel this restaurant.
We were asked one time when we were going to remodel the place, and my answer was, when Belmead Plantation remodels, we will remodel. It's a historic site. We're just not on the register yet.
To understand what this adds up to, consider this. Connie Hawk has served people on their 16th birthday, their engagement night, and their 10th wedding anniversary. We're talking about the same person. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Tomorrow's shaping up to be a little bit of a rainy one for us. Today we didn't get any of that rain, but the rain is on the way and it should be here as early as tomorrow morning, but the bulk of this is going to be coming through tomorrow afternoon, through the rest of the afternoon, into the evening hours, on into Saturday morning as well. 71 degrees, our high temperature for tomorrow. Typically we're at about 60 this time of year. For tomorrow, though, a good rain chance. That's going to carry on over into Saturday morning. I think by Saturday afternoon, a lot of us are going to be drying out. And then after that, we are going to keep it all dry with plenty of sunshine for Sunday through Tuesday into Wednesday. And our temperatures are going to start to go back up as well. We do drop down a little bit behind this system moving through. Lower 60s Saturday, mid-50s the high on Sunday. And then we're back up to the mid-60s, lower 70s Monday, Tuesday. We could even hit to the mid-70s on a Thursday. And we'll have more information coming up here on your 7-day forecast here in just a bit.
Sounding the alarm why we are closer than ever to a firefighter crisis.
For $179 a month, or get 4.49% APR for 60 months or $1,000 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end soon.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
Tonight in Operation Crime and Justice, the rate of some crime remain above pre-pandemic levels in some of America's biggest cities.
Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins is in Washington tonight to show us what city and state leaders are doing in an effort to turn those numbers around.
Some of America's bluest cities cracking down on crime through new laws and stricter penalties.
Everyday citizens are terrified to fill up their gas or walk their dog.
This week, Washington, D.C.'s progressive-leaning city council passing a new crime bill, giving police more power to enforce laws and increasing jail time.
We're creating new gun offenses to address the unacceptable rate of illegal firearms and gun violence in our city. We're changing the definition of carjacking to respond to that emergent trend.
After a string of violent crimes on New York City's subway system, Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul sending in the National Guard to conduct random bag searches.
I'm here to take action, because that's what the situation requires.
San Francisco passing their own law and order measure this week that includes drug screening for welfare recipients. The effort championed by Mayor London Breed, who's up for re-election. These new efforts are a 180 from the soft on crime approach these same cities were taking in recent years. These changes leave some relieved, but not all. Melissa Wasser with the DC ACLU tells Sinclair's WJLA she's worried.
We're just very concerned that this could end up in more stop and frisk. This could end up in more potentially problems with searches on the street.
Some D.C. business owners wanted to see the new bill go even further when it came to penalties for shoplifters.
Of course it's frustrating. No one asked us what do you think before they put this law on the table.
Here in Washington, D.C., residents are so fed up with crime, 2 council members are facing recall campaigns. Both of them were pro-progressive crime reform in the past. Both also voted this week in favor of the new tougher on crime bill. I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
Still not seeing much rain for us right now, but that rain chance does increase for tomorrow. We'll time it out. Also, take a look at how much rain you might get here in just a bit.
Plus, numbers that no longer add up. The danger created by a national. See this story at fox17.com. And for more stories like this, watch Fox 17 News at 9.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by B.F. Myers Furniture.
The number of calls to fire departments increases every year while the number of firefighters is falling.
Well, the shortage is placing some communities at serious risk. Mark Hyman has the details in tonight's Inside Your World Investigates.
On a somber morning in East Alabama, a community gathers. Each year, they come together to pay respects to their department's only fallen firefighter. That 1977 day Roger Brookshire died is a moment fellow firefighter Steve Tucker will never forget.
Instinctively just pulled him to the side and started doing CPR on Captain Brookshire. 72,000 volts of electricity. He didn't make it.
It's a solemn day for you, isn't it?
Worst day of my life.
Complicating matters for an already dangerous profession, the fire service is facing its greatest personnel shortage in the modern era. In the past 4 decades, the U.S. population has increased more than 40%. The number of emergency calls has tripled, but volunteer firefighters have fallen by a quarter, about 200,000 fewer today. This matters because 2/3 of all firefighters are volunteers. In most of rural America, it is only volunteers that will answer the call, unless there are no volunteers.
Behind me on this lot stood a house that caught fire one day. It could have been contained, but it wasn't. It burned to the ground. No firefighters ever responded. And here's the really crazy part. The firehouse is across the street.
In the Maryland suburbs, Tricia Wolford knows full well the challenges faced by rural America. She is an officer with the International Association of Fire Chiefs. She is also the chief in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, among the nation's largest departments. She told Inside Your World the firefighter shortage in some communities has reached crisis levels.
Gone are the days of us looking at thousands of recruits and saying, well, you need us. Wait in line and we'll get to you.
There is no longer an army of applicants waiting to join. Some volunteer fire stations have closed for good.
Are we in difficult times?
We are. I would say we are, absolutely.
Industry data shows 85% of career firefighters are white or Hispanic. 96% are male. It's believed volunteer numbers are similar. So the fire service is recruiting underrepresented communities to fill vacancies to become the next generation of firefighters. Chief Wolford shared with us an opening line to encourage young adults to consider the fire service. It is simple and direct.
Have you ever saved a life? So come and give it a shot. If you don't like it, you can leave, you know?
For Inside Your World Investigates, I'm Mark Hyman in Plainview, Alabama.
If you'd like to learn more about how to join the fire service, ask any firefighter. They are on the lookout for both men and women of all ages.
All right, Brett is tracking that system moving our way, bringing some rain.
Yeah, it will bring us some rain. We just have to wait a little bit longer for it. I think the bulk of this is going to be coming through for tomorrow, and then we're going to be having several dry days in a row. So once we get past this rain, we're not going to have to deal with any more rain for at least the next several days after that. Here's a live look over Broadway, and it is a little bit of a crowded night. I'm seeing a lot of people walking across the street right there. 58 degrees. That's our current temperature right here in Nashville. Mostly cloudy and mostly all dry for us right now, too. We're going to keep those clouds around with us as we head throughout the rest of the night on into tomorrow. Temperatures right now, 50s and lower 60s. It is a very mild night. The coolest spot, 51 in Crossville, 61 in Columbia, one of the warmer locations. 58 right now in Murfreesboro, 57 up in Clarksville. Average high temperature for this time of year is right at 60. So a lot of our current temperatures are very close to the average high. Rain, not really, not in Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky, at least for the most part. The bulk of that is still back out west of here, moving into parts of Missouri, also into Arkansas as well. That's going to keep on sliding to the east, though, and that'll leave us with that better rain chance as we head on into especially tomorrow afternoon. Here's what radar looks like right now and from over the past 3 hours. Some of those showers have been moving into our northwestern areas, just some light rainfall. That's really not causing any sort of issues up there, but we're also going to start to see a little bit more of that from the south and east to work its way into our area as we head through tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to show you right here. So for tomorrow morning, this is 7 o'clock. I still think a lot of us are going to stay fairly dry, but by the time we hit early tomorrow afternoon, that rain chance starts to bump up a little bit. This is the 12 o'clock noon picture right here. That's moving in closer to Interstate 40, even going a little bit north of that as well. And then it just gets more widespread through the afternoon hours and a couple of pockets of moderate rainfall. But I think a lot of this, for at least most of us, is going to just stay fairly light showers, especially for our northwestern areas, including the Clarksville area. And then down here in our far southeastern counties where you see those kind of shades of yellow and red indicating some moderate rainfall. But that's going to clear on out of here pretty quickly through Saturday morning, and that's going to leave us with a fairly dry day through the rest of Saturday. Once we lose this little second round that's going to move through for the later part of the morning hours, by noon I think most of us have lost most of the rain chance. Could still see a few light showers though on the back side of that, but again, no severe weather expected for us. That should be staying to the south and to the west of us, so that is some good news. We could get a few thunderstorms, but no severe weather right here in Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky. And for Saturday, that threat is going to keep it off to the south and to the east of us. As far as rainfall totals go, about an inch or less for a lot of us. Slightly higher amounts in our southern and eastern areas, maybe up to about an inch and a half. 62 degrees, the high on Saturday. Sunday's the coolest day, mid-50s. Monday, we're in the mid-60s. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have highs ranging from the low to mid-70s.
Hubs on planet Earth. This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Nashville Preds. This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm.
Well, despite inflation cooling down and a recession likely avoided when it comes to the economy, more Americans seem to trust former President Trump.
Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzell lays out the factors hurting President Biden.
Joe Biden started his presidency in the midst of a pandemic. With a struggling economy, the unemployment rate at 6.3%. Today, the latest numbers show it at 3.7%. As the inflation rate has dropped, wages have risen, with a boom in manufacturing. But while polls show people feeling better about the economy, they also show higher ratings for Donald Trump when he was president. 65% rating it good under Trump, with just 38% now, which Democrats have linked to poor messaging.
I can honestly say I've never been more optimistic about America's future.
But Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders criticized the notion that if Democrats can explain all the things they've accomplished, people will come on board, adding that ignores the pain ordinary people are now experiencing. Looking ahead, the president is touting some major laws passed in the last 3 years. The Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law.
America's economy is growing, inflation is slowing, and Democrats' agenda is delivering.
Plus, new plans to go after millionaires and big corporations who rob the economy of billions in tax dollars. New structures to make housing more affordable, and a plan to go after junk fees, currently tacked onto your stay at a resort, your food delivery, and your Taylor Swift tickets. Plus a plan to bring credit card late fees down from $32 to just $8.
America is at a breaking point.
Speaker of the House Mike Johnson releasing this video.
Sticker shock is hitting millions of Americans hard.
The highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years. I got that.
As Republicans blame Biden and Bidenomics for economic woes, an attempt by the White House to turn the tide.
We expect to hear these messages hammered home in the weeks to come as President Biden works to try to recover from several months of very low approval ratings. I'm Christine Frizzau in Washington.
Just ahead, a sign of the season, the days the Nashville airport is expecting to be packed with spring breakers.